Hey my book lovers, happy book Sunday. Happy Sunday. Today is Sunday the 17th of December. Y'all, December is almost done. December is almost over, y'all. Finna be 2024 in a couple of more weeks. The years ain't playing, y'all. The years is not playing. They going ahead on getting on out the way. Y'all join me twice a week on a Wednesday and a Sunday for pretty much everything books. In 2024 I have a couple of things that I will be doing differently, adding to my channels, other channels that I would like to start and actually be very serious about and see if I can get them kicked off and constantly going throughout the year. And I'll talk more about them or that at the beginning of the year. So if you're joining me today, then that means you are a book lover like me. And heart goes to you guys, because being a book lover is just a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle because the books never end. As y'all know, as y'all see, whenever we go in those bookstores, it's just, it don't make no difference how many books we have. There's still so many more books in those bookstores that we just have not seen, have not read. And we learn from each other on what books is good and what books is not. So there's a lot of you guys that I have heard down in the comments about what kind of books y'all like to read, book recommendations, and there's a lot of you guys that I have not. So any of you, even the ones that I already have, any of you that would like to give me some book recommendations or just tell me what kind of genres y'all like to read, I would greatly appreciate it, and I would like to listen, or I would like to read it. It's very, very interesting for me to know the people that I'm communicating with on my vlog, and like what type of books that they like to read, so that when I do talk to you guys via a message, you know, we can talk on the same page. Like, I'm not talking about something that you actually do not like or do not read. So just shout me out down in the comments. Tell me what type of books y'all like to read. Is it contemporary, romance, dark romance, fantasy, whatever? So y'all just tell me what it is down in the comments. My type of books are like dark romance, contemporary romance, thriller romance, mystery murder. Of course, I said romance so many times, so yeah, I am a romance person. I like fluffy reads. I like anything romance. But I also like, I also like to read the murder mystery books as well. Just to get away from all that kissy lovey-dovey stuff. You know what I'm saying? I have dipped myself into fantasy books, and I did that when I started reading The Fourth Wing. And then there was another book that I actually picked up that I saw on Alexa Ray's channel. I'll pop up a picture of it somewhere up here, but I picked up that book, and I'm pretty sure that it's a fantasy book as well. I did pick that book up, so I will be reading that one. So that'll be like another fantasy book on my list. I'm sorry y'all, but my lips are dry. So I do dip my toes into fantasies every blue moon, but my main thing is like the romance. So y'all, I would like to start something new today on my vlogs, and I have been thinking about it. I have been debating on it, and I've decided to do it. I've seen a couple of people do it on their channels, and I just think it's just the best thing that can be done on a channel, and that's just my personal opinion. Of course, everybody's different. Everybody does different things in different ways, but I would like to start giving a shout out to a subscriber of the day. So my subscriber of this vlog is at Lonesome Dove Call 822. At Lonesome Dove Call 822. The feedback in the comments and the recommendations that I have been getting from this subscriber has been great. Has been so great. I have came up on different books that I have not read, books that I actually have on my shelf, and just to know that somebody else likes those books, give a good recommendation for that book, those books. It just helps me to be like, okay, well, that'll be the next book that I'll pick up and I'll read. And when I say long comment, like long detailed comments, like I'm just so satisfied with the information, the comments, and the interaction that me and this person has up under my vlogs, and I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Lonesome Dove Call 822, for being a loyal subscriber to my channel. I really appreciate your loyal subscription. And those books that you're mentioning, I will definitely check those books out, and those books that I do have on my shelf, I will definitely start reading those books, because some of them have been on there for a while. So I will definitely get into those books that I've been having on my shelves that obviously are good books. So and thank you, because some of the books that you have recommended that I do not have, which is quite a few, will be another vlog for me, because it'll be another bookstore run that I will need to do in order to purchase those books. So possibly that will be a vlog dedicated to a recommendation from a subscriber. And I just feel so blessed and so happy to be able to come up with that kind of a vlog, be able to dedicate a vlog to a recommendation from a subscriber and things along that line. So shouts out to Lonesome Dove Call 822. Thank you again for being such a loyal subscriber to my channel. So again, y'all, I'm all about books. I love different types of books. If you subscribe to my channel, I upload a video twice a week on Wednesdays and Sundays. If you hit that notification bell, YouTube will also let you know when Yolanda's Journaling has uploaded a video, so you will never have to search and find one of my videos, because YouTube will let you know that, hey, Yolanda's Journaling has uploaded a video. You better get over there and look at it. So y'all, I have some book recommendations that I would like to give to you guys, so let's get into this video. So I have 8 books that I would like to recommend to you guys. They range from thriller and romance, dark romance, contemporary romance, Christian literature, and murder mystery. So let's get started. And don't forget, y'all, put down in the comments what type of genres that y'all like. I would really like to hear from the ones that I know that's watching my channel but have not actually been putting anything down in the comments. And also, y'all, don't forget to subscribe. So let's get started. Let's talk about the dark romance, contemporary romance books first. I have like 4 of them. So the first one that I would like to talk about is Hooked. Hooked is by Emily McIntire, and to me this is like a contemporary romance, dark romance book. It's like the reimagining of Peter Pan, and it's like a whole series. I think there's Scarred, Wrecked, Crossed, all that stuff. that goes into this series. But this one is about the Peter Pan reimagining. Sorry y'all, I got a text from my niece. This one is about the Peter Pan reimagining, and I'm going to try my best to give y'all these reviews of mine without putting any spoilers in there. But it's about James, who is hooked, and then it's about Wendy and Peter. James, he had, you know, a lot taken from him as a child, and he also had this guy named Rue who actually took care of him when he was a kid, and he was like the only father that James knew. And then one day James met Wendy, and I'm not sure if he actually knew in the beginning who Wendy was, but once he found out who Wendy was, she started to be like a bargaining chip for James Hook in order to get back at Peter for what happened, you know, in the past. But I don't think that James was thinking that he would, you know, it would go any farther with Wendy, or if she was just going to be just that bargaining chip for him to get what he actually wants. So later on down in the story, Wendy and James, you know, they seem to can't shake the desires that they're having for each other, and their relationship actually grows and it gets heated in some parts of the book. And she finds herself unsure if she's falling for the man known as James or the monster known as Hook. So pretty much they kind of like, you know, had intentions in the beginning to just, you know, mess around with each other or whatever, as far as Wendy's part, I believe. And then Hook had his intentions as like getting revenge, and both of them didn't realize or think that, you know, anything else would become of it. But I would rate this book a 3-star. Really good book. I can't wait to read the other books that's in this series, but it's Hooked by Emily McIntire. The next book that I read, and it's been a minute ago, and it's Magnolia Parks by Jenna Hastings. I have the second book to this series. I have not read it yet, and I have not bought any of the other series to this book because like the covers have started changing, and I really don't like the covers. So hopefully I can find some of the old covers, and then I'll continue buying the series that's in this book. But this right here was a really hyped up book on TikTok and on YouTube. So I finally decided to get this book, and this book has 500 and something, almost 500 something pages in it. So I want to say that I did get the Audible for this book in order to read this book, because like this might have been like the first book that I read that had so many pages in it. But once I actually got into this book, I really enjoyed this book. So me personally, I give this book a 5-star read. Like, this book kept me engaged. I always wanted to know what was happening next. I caught myself wanting, you know, like BJ and Magnolia to, you know, be together. You know, I would get mad with certain things that would happen that BJ and Magnolia would do, and you know, just it kept me so engaged. So I really would recommend you guys to get this book. I really can't go into too much detail about this one without actually spoiling this whole book. But it's pretty much about a girl named Magnolia and a guy named BJ who was, you know, actually in a relationship, a long-term relationship since kids. And it also revolves around some of the friends that they actually had as kids, and like the characters in this book are like rich people. So like everything and anything that they do could possibly be put on social media or in a magazine or things like that. But there's a lot of things in here that will make you mad, will make you sad, and will make you cry. So this is a 5-star read for me, and I would really suggest you guys to get Magnolia Parks by Jenna Hastings. Another series that I started is called Love and Gelato by Jenna Welch. I really like this book. I would give this book a 3-star. It's pretty much about, it's like a light fluffy read for me. It's pretty much about a girl named Lena. Her mom has passed. Her mom used to stay in Italy, and her mom's dying wish was for her to go to Italy and to get to know her father. And when she gets to Italy, there is a journal that her mom wrote that's not too far behind her. And as she starts to actually read this journal, like some of the people that she meets, she actually kind of like know who they are, or get to know who they are because of what her mom has wrote in her journal. And throughout the time that she's there, Lena uncovers a magical world of secrets, romance, arts, and hidden bakeries. Like, it's like in Italy, it's like they use food to express their feelings and to make themselves feel better. And I really think that's so cool. And while she's there, she meets this charming guy named Ren. They actually become friends, and he comforts her during the, you know, the times of like what she's actually going through with have lost her mom and trying to actually get to know who her father is and going to actually meet her father. And then they actually become, you know, more than friends. But it says people come to Italy for love and gelato, someone tells her, but sometimes they discover much more. So this is really a light, fluffy, romantic read for me, and it is a series. So they also have Love and Luck and Love and Olives. So I really would recommend you guys to get Love and Gelato. Really nice, fluffy read. Another light, fluffy love and a book is By the Book by Jasmine Guillory. If I say that name wrong, I apologize. But y'all, I would give this book a 3-star read. It was a really nice book. I enjoyed this book once I actually got into it because it was a book about people that love books as much as I do. And it was 2 characters in this book named Isabel and Bilal. And Bilal, you know, he had a lot or been through a lot within his life, and he just needed that extra push from somebody. And Isabel pretty much was at a dead spot in her life as well and needed that extra push from somebody. And they actually just pretty much just used each other to push each other to do exactly what they needed to do within their life. But they were doing it as far as job wise, at least Izzy was, because she wanted to you know, just do something better with her life and make a name for herself within the publishing company that she was actually in. So as Izzy was trying to encourage Bilal to write his memoir and everything like that, they discovered that they have a lot more in common than they expected. And as the deadlines and everything become near, Izzy and Bilal began to realize that it might be something more there than it was before. So and then it says sometimes to truly know a person, you have to read between the lines. So I feel like this was a really nice, fluffy, romantic young adult book. So I would suggest for you to get By the Book. So these other 2 books that I want to talk about, one is a Christian literature and one is a thriller and romance. The Christian literature one that I would like to talk about is, or recommend, is Feeding the Soul by Tabitha Brown. It took me, I'm not a big self-help book person, so it took me a really good hot minute to actually read this book. But once I actually got into reading this book, some of the things that she said in here kind of like made sense, kind of like, you know, felt like deja vu. Just, you know, I won't say push me into the right direction, because like I said, I'm not a big self-help book person, but you know, some of it just makes sense, because like some of the stuff, it was like, everyone can go, your personal prescription, pay attention to signs, now is the time to forgive, it's going to happen, show up and let the blessings be motivation, so we're better together. So as me, I would rate this book as a 2-star. And as far as a recommendation, it will be very low on my list to recommend you guys to get this book, but I just wanted to throw this in here because I actually did read this book and I did get something out of the book. So I'm just read the back of this book for you guys. It said, take the course called Life Honey and you'll find out how much weaning is in everything you've ever done. Every single thing you do has a purpose, okay? I'm a witness to the fact that when you get a chance to look back at all that's happened, you will see how everything you wondered about, were afraid of, or didn't understand was actually lining up like the perfect puzzle. And you know, that's kind of like what I said, was like I did kind of like get something out of it. You know, when I said like some of the stuff kind of like sounded like, you know, made me felt like deja vu. So when people ask me, girl, what did you do to be blessed like this? I just tell them I was out here living, working hard, being truthful, and sharing my story. That's really all I did. My soul woke up, realized that I was enough, and decided that everything I ever needed lived right inside of me. So let me tell you this, some truth. Everything you need is right there inside you. Let your life launch you into your destiny. And like I said, y'all, the reason why I would give this a 2-star for me is because I'm not a big self-help book person. But I can tell you what I did get out of this book was that, as far as, you know, being a YouTuber and getting on this camera and talking to you guys and telling you guys how I feel, and being confident when I'm sitting here on here talking to you guys, this book actually did help me out, because it did let me feel and everything like, Yolanda, you are enough, like you can do this, like, you know, just try it, see how it goes, see how many people respond to you. Everybody's not gonna like you, and this book actually did help me with that. So if you're that type of person and these types of book will help you with that, I would recommend that you pick up this book by Tabitha Brown. It's called Feeding the Soul, and it's because it's my business. So this is my Christian literature, and I wanted to save this one for last, but I couldn't. This is my thriller romance book, y'all, and I give this book a 6 out of 5, and it is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Pretty much all I gotta do is just put that book up there in front of this camera, and y'all know the rest. Y'all, this book is awesome. Like, this is one of the books that I actually read in one sitting. The suspense in this book, just the thoughts of this lady in this book, the description of the characters in this book, the description of the thoughts of the characters in this book, the sexual suspense in this book, y'all, all of this was just so good. But it also had a downside to me, because it was like, you know, she kind of like, girl, you crazy. Like, you had some thoughts and you did some things, if they were true, if they were not true, that was like a mom wouldn't do, or a woman wouldn't do, or you can't be that obsessed. You know what I mean? So some of that stuff that I read in here about her, I was like, woman, I would wring your neck. I know you didn't. You know, and then it had got down to a point of, it was like, did she deserve what she got? Y'all gotta get this book. This is a 6 out of 5 stars. So it says, Lauren is a struggling writer on a brink of financial ruin when she accepts a job offer of a lifetime. Jeremy Crawford, husband of a best-selling author Verity Crawford, has hired Lauren to complete the remaining books in a successful story his injured wife is unable to finish. Lauren arrives at the Crawford's home, ready to sort through years of Verity's notes and outlines, hoping to find enough material to get her started. She gonna find something too. What Lauren doesn't expect to uncover in this chaotic office is an unfinished autobiography Verity never intended for anyone to read. Page after page of bone-chilling admissions, including Verity's recollection of the night her family was forever altered. Now this is when it's that part right there, y'all, is when it get damn deep. When she gets to that part in that autobiography, you might as well get ready to read this book. Don't put this book down. So you might as well read this book at a good time and start early in the morning. Start early in the morning, because you will not be able to put this book down, because you got to get some sleep. So start early in the morning. Lauren decides to keep the manuscript hidden from Jeremy, knowing its contents could devastate the already grieving father. But as Lauren's feelings for Jeremy begins to intensify, she realizes all the ways she could benefit if he were to read his wife's words. After all, no matter how devoted Jeremy is to his injured wife, a truth as horrifying would make it impossible for him to continue loving her. A standalone romantic thriller. And that is so true. Colleen Hoover, you did that, girl. 6 out of 5 stars. Y'all get this book. If y'all have not read it, y'all get that book. That is a good book. So let's move on, because I could talk about that book all day. Okay, y'all, our last 2 book recommendations are my last 2 book recommendations to you guys. And I put these in the category of murder mystery. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the first book in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I've started on the second book, which is Good Girl, Bad Blood. I did start on that one, but usually for me, when I start on a book in a series, I don't try to read the whole series. I start on that book, and then like I go read other books, and then, you know, I'll come back to you know, the book in that series. But I haven't been back to this one in a minute, so I need to start reading the second book in all the series that I actually have started. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. But anyway, so I would give this a 3-star. I enjoyed this book. This book actually had 300, almost 400 pages. The characters in this book were awesome. What's her name? Pep. She was a school student, y'all, and she was actually like doing a project for school, but in the same time she was actually like solving like a actual murder mystery. It says, pretty and popular high school senior Andy Bell was murdered by her boyfriend Sal Singer who then killed himself. It was all anyone could talk about. About 5 years later, Pip sees how the tragedy still haunts her town. Now a senior herself, Pip decides to re-examine the closed case for her final project. And I think that's pretty cool that, you know, like, her high school would let her do something like that as a final project. Like, what high school, what state is this? But soon she discovers a trail of dark secrets that might actually prove Sal innocent, and the line between past and present begins to blur. Someone in Fairview doesn't want Pip digging around for answers, and now her own life might be in danger. So Pip was the type of girl who kind of like didn't take no for an answer, but also did take no for an answer. And I guess the reason why I would say that is because she did take no for an answer, but she would go, you know, about the same no for an answer in a different way to get what she wanted. So like, she would not stop. Like, if she got her mind set on something, and like different things would happen that would really discourage her, make her sad, you know, things like that, but she would, you know, kind of like put it on the back burner a little bit, and she would just, you know, trudge on, because she felt very passionate that the way this murder, suicide happened was not true, and she was just determined to find the truth in the situation. And the person who they say killed Andy, her and the brother actually became like really good friends, and you know, and the story just goes from there. But Pip was like, this girl can be, for her to be a high school student, like, this girl could be a really, really good detective. So I really would like to go back to Good Girls Bad Blood. It started out a little bit different than what this book did, because it's kind of like, I'm guessing like she's like not in high school anymore, because in this book she was a senior. So, you know, like the next book she's not in high school anymore, so it's pretty much about like her adult life. So I don't know, what did I say in the beginning? I would give this book I would give it a oh, it's hard because it's like teetering between a 3 and a 4 star. So I would say a 3.5 star. I don't know what I said in the beginning when I first put this book up here, but I would give it a 3.5 star at the moment. And once I actually read the rest of the series, maybe that number will go up. But I really would recommend you guys to read a Good Girl's Guide to Murder as a murder mystery book and a series, because it is a nail-biting mystery. Like, you really would like this book. If you don't read any other book from that series, I really think you would like this book. And the last book that I have, y'all, is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This is a Netflix. Is it a Netflix? It's a major motion picture. So you guys have seen this plenty of times. I'm pretty sure on Netflix, or some TV show. But I mean, I would give it a 3 star. It's actually a Reese's book club, so obviously like a lot of people had to give it like a 5-star read. Is it my cup of tea? Yes and no. The Marsh girl, she was, the way her childhood was determined how she became as an adult, as far as being, you know, shy and distant, and, you know, pretty much of a loner. And that's, you know, really not her fault. and just the things that she went through as a person, and from the bullying and the way, you know, some of the other kids treated her because of how she was raised, and like how her parents were and who her parents were and things like that. That really kind of like, how would I say it, discouraged me with this book, because I see so many people, like, and I know so many people that goes through this kind of stuff all the time, and I just don't like it. I just don't like it. And some of the stuff that she went through, as far as like the things people said, the way people treated her, and, you know, stuff like that, it was just, you know, heartbreaking for me. But overall, yes, it was a good book. So I would recommend you guys to get this book, to read this book, and to actually look at the movie. I think I looked at the movie like more than 1 or 2 times before I actually picked up the book and actually read it. Kai, she was a very unique person. As far as being the Marsh girl, you know, she could survive in whatever conditions. You know, she had this this unique gift, and, you know, as you read the book, you'll find out like what that gift does for her. But it says, for years, rumors of Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town in North Carolina coast. So in the late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kai Clark, a so-called Marsh Girl. But Kai is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and the lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be touched in love, when 2 young men from the town become intrigued by her wild beauty. Kai opens herself to a new life until the unthinkable happens. So it's like, once she actually opened up herself to 2 guys in the book, one of them was a really big, huge mistake. One of them actually was not. Later on down the line, she figures out which was which. But overall, y'all, it's a good book. Like I said, it's like a murder mystery book. It's a Reese's book club book, so obviously it had to be a really nice book. But me personally, I would rate it a 3-star. So yes, I would recommend you guys to read this book. But again, like, it wasn't one of like my top books. Would I read this book again? No. I would rather look at the movie than to actually read that book again. But you guys, thank you. That was the 8 books that I would recommend you guys to read on this book Sunday. Again, it was some dark romance, some contemporary romance, some light fluffy romance, some murder mystery, some thriller. And it's been some time ago since I've read some of those books, or most of those books, but I just wanted to recommend those books to you guys and tell you the ones that I really enjoy and the ones that was so. But look forward to more book recommendations from me as I read more books in the near future. Again, I'm really not a very fast reader, so as far as a ton of book recommendations, you might not get those from me. It'll be more of, you know, other videos with me saying, like, in 2022 I jumped back. No. In 2024, you know, the style, the niches of my videos might change a little bit, and I hope you guys still enjoy them. But Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Thank you for being a loyal subscriber to Yolanda's Journaling. And I hope to see you guys again on Wednesday. Bye.